Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I am Mikey.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
And we are here with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is Season 3, Episode 3, Faith, Hope, and Trick. And as of last episode, Buffy is reconciling with the fact that she had left her friends for themselves a little bit over the summer, and her friends are kind of reconciling with the fact that Buffy had to get over her own trauma as well.
It was a good episode. Yeah. I like seeing all the character growth.
Which is a
between
really...
Willow and Xander.
That's actually
growing into like...
people?
Adults.
Yeah.
It's an interesting opinion among the community that you like that episode, because that's considered the worst episode of the season as the fans, because they hate the way that...
There's fucking zombies, dude.
That's
I
fun.
love zombies.
But you know, the fact that
zombies?
her mom and Willow called her out in front of all her friends instead of doing it privately, you know, it was very, like, it was very toxic and hypocritical in some ways.
Yeah.
But who knows
but
what's going to happen.
I actually like that they did that, because then there was the contrast of their reality that, like, the world's actually fucked, because literally as that's happening, a zombie comes, crashes through the window, and snaps that guy's neck. That guy's dead. Like, he's done. So, you know.
Yeah, but
I like that.
I'm ready to jump into this episode, though, guys. Are you ready? All right, we're going to be starting this one in 3, 2, 1. Thank you for joining us.
Nothing of importance is happening in this episode.
As seniors, we can go off campus now for lunch. It's no longer cutting. It's legal. It's expected. You can't just rush into this, you know? Oh, no, I can't.
You can.
But no, this is good. This is, hey, we're seniors. Hey, I'm walking here.
Picnic.
We shouldn't be too coupley around Buffy.
Oh, you mean because of how the only guy that ever liked her turned into a vicious killer and had to be put down like a dog?
Cordelia, jeez.
Uncouple.
Oh, weird that they act like that around her.
They're trying to be nice.
Ooh, Scott Hope at 11 o'clock. He likes you. He wanted to ask you out last year, but you weren't ready then. But I think you're ready now. Or at least in the state of pre-readiness to make conversation. Or to do that thing with your mouth that boys like.
I love how awkward she is, dude.
I didn't mean that bad thing with your mouth. I meant that little half smile thing. You're supposed to stop me when I do that.
God, I love that whole sequence. It's top tier.
He's coming over.
Look, I'm not trying to snare Scott Hope. I just want to get my life back, you know, do normal stuff.
Like date?
Well,
Oh, you want a date? I saw that half smile, you little slut.
Okay, Xander. Yeah, you deserve that.
I could go for a happy burger.
I could go for a happy burger too right now, to be honest. Limo.
That's how you knew someone was evil in the 90s.
Who orders just a diet soda?
Admittedly, it's not a haven for the brothers, you know, strictly the Caucasian persuasion here in the Dale. But, you know, you just gotta stand up and salute that death rate. I ran a statistical analysis, and hello, darkness. It'd fit right in here.
Demons?
We're here for one thing.
Huh?
Kill the Slayer.
Oh?
No, I'm hungry.
Go back around. Oh, vampire.
See, I was right. He was on the menu.
Hate that, Joe.
He's got that soda to wash him down.
Wait, why did he order soda? Can vampires drink soda? So they couldn't consume human food.
Maybe he's not a vampire.
He just did that.
Is diet soda food?
Is diet soda a food?
In my opinion, no. It's not even a drink.
Thanks, chat.
I abstained from this exchange.
Coke Zero having abs.
Yeah, you like Coke Zero.
Gross.
Are we insulting your favorite drink? Let us know in the comments below.
You think they'd have?
Oh, she went out with Scott.
That was Swamp.
Guys, Scott got her out? Or is that Angel? Is it a dream? That's right, Scott wasn't that tall.
Noticing anything?
It's symbolic. It's all
Nobody there.
symbolism.
There's no band. He looks kind of tan. Okay.
oh God, Angel.
Go to hell!
Morning, sunshine. Ready to face the beast.
Here are the terms of your re-entry, Missy. Take them or leave them.
Okay.
One, that you pass a makeup test of every class you skipped out
Why is there a knife?
last year. Earned patrol.
I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Snyder. I spoke with the school board, and according to them...
I'm required to educate every juvenile who is not in jail where she belongs. Welcome back.
Let me get this straight. I'm really back in school because the school board overruled you. Wow. That's like having your whole ability to do this job called into question when you think about it.
I think what my daughter's trying to say is...
Wait. Yeah! the double team on the mom-daughter duo. Mom-daughter duo.
He's just such a fucking little fucking piece of shit. I don't get it.
What does the mayor have to do with anything? Mayor!
Have you ever noticed, though, when he is mad, but he's too English to say anything, he makes that weird cluck-cluck sound with his tongue?
Hi, Giles.
Oh, man.
Yes, I'm back in school, but you know how it embarrasses me when you gush, so let's just skip all that and get straight to work.
Of course, it's wonderful to have you back. It goes without saying. But
Wants to hear it.
enjoy making me say it, don't you?
Yeah.
Sage, I love
Yeah,
that
it was
smell.
Sage.
And Marnock's root?
Oh, she a little witch.
You know, a smidge of this mixed with a virgin saliva does something I know nothing about.
These forces are not something that one plays around with. Well,
Oh, he doesn't know?
Are you mad at me?
no, of course not, no. If I were, I would be making a strange clucking sound.
You know, I'm really enjoying this episode. It actually feels like they're back to form, but like better.
Yeah.
Right?
The growth afterwards.
Especially now that Willow is going to be a little witch. Can't wait till she takes, like, a season to get her full power back.
Well, and she's kind of like coming in. She's not afraid to talk.
Hi, Scott. What are you doing here?
You told me if I came after 8, I could run into Buffy. It's not good for the soul.
Hi, Scott.
At least he's honest. That's something good.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Well, would you like to...
I don't know. I'm bad with, well, thank you for asking. It's just that they're...
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go stand by the dance floor. If you change your mind, you can mosey on over, and then if not, then you don't mosey.
He's saying everything right.
Yeah.
That was like a master class right there. That was pretty good.
That was no pressure. I'm going to go stand over here.
Plus bonus points for use of the word mosey.
I just don't think I'm ready.
What was the last thing that guy danced to? Casey and the Sunshine Band?
I think they're doing a great job.
Not to this music, dude.
Oh, her Buffy sense is tingling.
Someone's a vampire.
Remember how they pointed out that people come from different eras? Like in the first episode?
Hi. Oh. No, I have to...
Oh,
Poor guy.
Why do I feel like that guy's evil?
Just a
This
guy.
show has damaged me beyond repair.
That's not what making out sounds like. Unless I'm doing it wrong.
Okay.
It's okay, I got it. You're Buffy, right? I'm Faith.
Faith.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say there's a new Slayer in town.
Okay.
It's our confirmation.
Can I borrow that?
Interesting.
So we've now encountered my favorite childhood crush of Buffy. Faith.
So I go tearing out, stark nude, and this church bus is broke down, and there's these 3 vamps.
Xander is
such a pervert.
Wow, they should film that story and show it every Christmas.
Cordelia.
Crazy how slaying just always makes you hungry and horny.
Well, sometimes I crave a non-fat yogurt afterwards.
I get it. There was one, and then Buffy died for like 2 minutes, so then...
She's
Kendall
so
was
smart.
called, and then when she died, Faith was called.
But why were you called here?
Well, I wasn't. My watcher went off to some retreat thing in England, and so I skipped out. I figured this was my chance to meet the infamous Buff and compare notes.
He's had some
Did
infamy.
you really use a rocket launcher one time?
Actually, it's a funny story. There's...
So what was the story about that alligator? You said something.
Cordelia's facial expressions.
She's so good with them.
Feet long, and I'm, you know...
Was this, also naked?
Xander, find a new theme.
So, what about you? What was your toughest kill?
Katha.
There was 3.
Something occurring. No, you both killed vamps, and who could blame you? But I'm wondering about your
They
position
cut her
on
off
werewolves.
again.
Oz is a werewolf. Hey, as long as you don't go scratching at me or humping my leg, we're 5 by 5, you know?
There is a Watchers retreat every year in the Cotswolds. It's a lovely spot. It's a great honor to be invited. Also, I'm told.
Oh, what?
If I'd have known they came that young and cute, I would have requested a transfer.
Raise your hand if ew.
Well,
Well, I'm good for patrolling. Late-ish, though. I promised Mom I'd be home for dinner. To which you're also invited, of course.
Dying to meet the fam. I'm in.
Great. Great, then we can patrol.
Kendra had no family because her parents gave her up. What about Faith?
You know, you can hang out with us while she's testing. You wanna?
Say yes and bring your stories.
You guys go.
Kendra's so touchy.
She's just bumming that they all think she's cool.
the girl seems to have a lot of zest. I'm having a little problem with the binding spell for a Cathler. I'm lacking the requisite details to perform it correctly. Now, physical location.
Next time I kill Angel, I'll video it.
I feel like that's foreshadowing.
Does he come back from hell?
She's got something, doesn't she?
What is it with you and Slayers? Maybe I should dress up as one and put a stake to your throat.
Please, God, don't let that be sarcasm.
God, dude.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry. I know you from somewhere.
The Bronze. You're friends with Buffy, right?
Oh, he's gonna ask her out.
We're looking at what?
Believe that is her actual hair color.
Hey, maybe Faith and Scott could hit it off.
Oh, she's gonna get jealous. Ooh.
You don't enter into these things lightly, you know. There's repercussions to consider, and why am I seeing a look?
You really do need to find the fun, B. Buffy.
Oh, man.
He's a cutie. Has he seen anybody?
Mr. Trick, talk to me.
This very street, wired with fiber optics. We stay local, where the humans are jumping and the cotton is high, but we live global. I mean, you know, you get the hankering for the blood of a 15-year-old Filipina, and I'm on the net and she's here the next day. Express air.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
Rumor has it that this town already has a Slayer, which makes 2. Not real sure how that happened.
I don't care if there are 100 Slayers. I'll kill them all. She's going to pay for what she did to me.
Which Slayer did that?
Faith?
You guys wanna...
Oh no, that's fucked up. Poor pizza
So
boy.
you're a Slayer too.
Mom?
Just a second, honey.
Oh, dude.
Buffy can be awfully negative sometimes.
Oh no, Joyce.
See, honey, you gotta fight that. Does anybody else think Faith is creepy?
No, but I'm the one getting single white female here.
What?
Good, you were an only child.
I'm just getting my life back. I'm not looking to go halfsies on it.
Well, there's some things I'd be happy to see you share, like the slaying. I mean, 2 of you fighting is safer than 1, right?
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Couldn't she take over for you?
Mom, no one can take over for me. Mom, the only way you get a new Slayer is when the old Slayer dies.
And that means you. When did you die?
Oh no.
I like how it took Cordelia like a year or 2, and it took Mom 5 seconds.
I don't want you to die.
And?
She eats a lot, huh?
Well, you heard her at the Bronze.
Well, she's a runaway too, so
When you're fucking fighting, man, now.
she's also a runaway, so she probably doesn't eat very often. So eat as much as you can.
You've been doing this the longest.
I have.
Yeah, maybe a little too long.
What?
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
You got a problem?
I'm 5 by 5 here, B, living entirely large. Actually wondering about your problem.
Well,
What?
I may not sleep in the nude and wrestle alligators.
Maybe it's time you started, because obviously something in your bottle needs uncorking. What is it, the angel thing?
How about from now on, we don't hear from you on Angel or anything else in my life, which, by the way, is my life.
What are you getting so strung out for, B?
Why are your lips still moving, F?
Did I just hear a threat?
Would you like to?
Wow. You think you can take me?
Yeah. I just hope they can't.
Ooh, interrupted for now. Damn.
With the trash can.
Take out the trash, man.
My dead mother hits harder than that.
Oh my God.
Fate, stake him already and give me a hand.
This is me, you dead bastard!
For Kakistos we live. For Kakistos you'll die.
Kakistos?
Faith got some unresolved issues.
Well, her mom's dead. I wonder how.
Come on, Buffy, you can save yourself, yo. There you go.
Jeez. Okay.
What is wrong with you?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you living large on that vampire.
Gee, if doing violence to vampires upsets you, I think you're in the wrong line of work.
Yeah, or maybe you like it a little too much.
I was getting the job done. I thought you could handle yourself.
Ooh.
She did. She killed all of the vampires.
Literally.
Literally.
Well, she's just a plucky fighter who got a little carried away. Which is natural. She's
Giles.
slaying. She doesn't have a
Come on.
whole other life here as you do.
She doesn't need a life. She has mine.
I wonder if they still kayak. I used to love a good kayak. You see, they don't even consider. Sorry, I digress.
The one that nearly bit me mentioned something about kissing toast. He lived for kissing toast.
Do you mean Kakistos?
I think it was taquitos.
Kakistos.
Kakistos.
Kakistos is Greek. It means the worst of the worst. It's also the name of a vampire so old that his hands and feet are cloven.
That happened?
How?
Giles, there are two things that I don't believe in. Coincidence and leprechauns.
Well, Buffy, it's entirely possible that they both arrived here by chance.
I thought you were going to say leprechauns were real.
Okay, but I was right about the leprechauns, right?
As far as I know.
Leprechaun's going to be in a future episode,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah? Bum, bum.
Hi.
Scott!
Think of this as my last-ditch effort. I realize that one more is going to qualify as stalking. I've given a lot of thought. Some might say too much thought to how I might be a part of your life. It begins with conversation. We all know this. Maybe over a cup of coffee, or maybe at the Buster Keaton Festival playing on State Street all this weekend.
Oh, okay. That's going to be weird for a second.
Come to think of it, I don't think I've given a fair chance to Buster Keaton.
Oh, God, he's got to be evil, right?
I think it might be time to see a little more.
Yay.
I got you a little present. A guy in the retro shop said that it represents friendship.
Tell me it's a ring.
You like?
I can't. I can't do this.
I get the message.
The same ring that Angel had?
Hi. Yeah. I'm fine. Did you reach the retreat?
Yes, I did. Her watcher's dead.
What?
Killed her watcher.
What do you know about Kakistos?
That he's here? What'd he do to you?
It's what I did to him, all right?
You're right, it was the Slash. It was him.
I can help.
You can mind your own business. I'm the one who can handle this.
Yeah, you're a real badass when it comes to packing. What was that you said about my problem? Got a deal and move on? Well, we have the moving on part right here. What about dealing? Is that just something you're gonna dump on me?
You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. I'll take care of this, all right?
What?
Like you took care of your watcher?
That's a touchy subject.
They got to fight, clearly.
He killed her, didn't he?
You don't have a word for what he did to her.
Oh.
Faith, you run, he runs after you.
That's where the head start comes in handy.
It's right there.
What I thought was going to happen. Damn. Oh, here's a fight.
Our friendship will prevail. Actually, how far into the episode are we?
Well, they weren't invited in.
I feel like a motel is technically a public place.
You can literally see them running in the background.
Faith, what happened?
I was there when he killed my watcher, and
What happened?
saw what he did to her, what he was gonna do to me. I tried to stop him, but I couldn't.
First rule of slaying. Don't die. You did the right thing, okay? You didn't die.
This is his place.
He drove us here.
Music's going crazy right now. Okay. Oh, okay.
Don't die!
Joe's favorite Slayer can't die in one episode, can she?
Well, she's clearly deathly afraid of him, huh?
Come on, Buffy. Solo all the ads.
You pick her up with a regular hand or a club?
That was a regular hand in that clip.
We don't do something, the master could get killed. Well, the birds are with him. There's a reason these vengeance crusades are out of style. It's the modern vampire. You see the
New villain. Oh, he's got armor? Is he wearing tweed?
I guess you need a bigger stake, Slayer.
Uh-huh.
Where's Mr. Stabby? Pointy.
What is that?
A bigger steak.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. Nice.
You hungry?
Starved.
Horny.
Wow, Mikey.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the alligator story, Mikey.
Oh, you see, this one time I was in Louisiana.
Angel was cured.
It was the final bit of the puzzle.
Your spell worked at the last minute, Will. I was about to take him out, and, something went through him. And he was Angel again. It was too late, and I had to. I don't know if that helps with your spell or not, Giles.
Helps with her conscience, though.
I've been holding on to that for so long. Felt good to get it out.
Giles, I know you don't like me playing with mystical forces, but I can really help with this binding spell.
Yeah, give her confidence.
There is no spell.
What? Oh my God.
Gonna bring him back from hell?
No. He was trying to get an answer out of Buffy on what happened.
Yes.
If you would still like to go to the film festival, and I would understand it if you didn't. I'd pretty much love to go with you.
I don't know, Buffy. I'm really gonna have to think about this. Okay, you know what? I thought about it, and I made.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Well,
She gonna bring the ring there?
Crazy that he bought like this.
Bro, how are there so many abandoned buildings?
Everyone dies there. What do you mean?
Fair enough.
The one vampire was literally like, it's amazing, and no one's asking any questions. Surprised we haven't seen any mobsters in the background just burying bodies. Well, sure.
Was it the same exact ring that Angel bought her?
It was.
Like, fading to black. Oh, wait. Nope. It's glowing up. The ring's glowing.
Do it.
The ring's shaking now.
It's a portal.
The ring is shaking. The screen's white.
And there he is.
Angel came back?
Yes.
And he's butt-ass naked.
Literally.
Can you see it?
It's not behind the camera anymore. It's Mikey.
Wow. Okay. Well, which Angel's back?
Human Angel!
Now the TV show's starting to make sense.
Well, an important thing
I'm
that
joking. I'm just using because you hate when I talk about the TV show.
So an important thing I felt like we didn't really discuss that they brought up again for obvious reasons is right before he was stabbed and sent to hell, like, in his soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he went like, you know, was in hell suffering with the soul.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure we all, because I feel like we didn't discuss that. But I didn't want to discuss anything.
No, you're fine.
So I didn't want to like.
No, I caught that.
We absolutely caught this. So he had a soul. So even though
you're supposed to discuss these things,
even though Angel
Like,
went
he
to
normally
hell,
just talks over us, and then I don't get to talk about anything.
Shut up.
Hey, we've been better about that. Angel though got his soul back, and being in hell, being tortured potentially by what we don't know what the exact extent, but we have to assume it's something terrible.
Sure, I mean, we did just see a bright, shining white light, and then Angel appeared. So
you think about the heaven?
I'm not saying. I'm saying what we all just saw.
No, I think he redeemed himself in hell, and that's what brought him back to Earth.
And you think he's on Earth? Like, why am I here? No.
And is that why his name is
Angel?
That'd be crazy.
I don't know. I think it's because just his name was Angel before he died.
His name was
Angelus, yeah, okay.
And they just happen to call him Angel because it's not fucking the 1500s anymore. So
it's interesting that we're going to focus on this episode.
You know, I feel like someone would name their kid Angelus in this day and age.
Faith and Buffy and all those names.
I love Faith.
Giles, Oz.
I meant the name Faith. Jesus.
You know how many Cordelias are out there because of the show?
I've never met one.
I've never met a Cordelia either.
Because
it's almost like people don't actually.
That's because
there's actually.
I like.
We're going on a tangent here, so I'm just gonna end it with. There's a lot of people who name their children Daenerys and Khaleesi because of Game of Thrones.
You're gonna see it in like 10 years.
You know what? Whatever.
I think it's a sick name.
Right.
Sure. I mean, it's better than Joe. I guess.
Mike.
Sure. Basic ass bitch.
Hey, I'm into some of these.
I know like 18 Mikes.
So in this episode, we meet Faith, who is the new Slayer. So we talked about it in the previous episodes. When Buffy died, the first time she became,
Kendra got it.
Not the main Slayers. Kendra became like the main Slayer.
We got confirmation that
of the lineage.
This is how it's working.
Yeah. So technically, when Faith dies, if and when Faith dies, a new Slayer will come. Buffy technically dying probably won't create one. Buffy still is the Slayer because I mean the TV show is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But as much as I argued she is a Slayer, not the Slayer, obviously she is the Slayer, especially in Sunnydale. And even if even if all these Slayers keep coming and going. They mentioned that Buffy is infamous, which means she is known as the Slayer who died and came back, and therefore exists while they exist. She fought Angelus, Spike, the Master.
I want to talk about that.
All the demons.
I want to talk about that.
All of these legendary vampires that have murdered all of these Slayers, they come into Sunnydale, and then for plot purposes, they're just murdered like indiscriminately.
They mentioned she used a rocket in one episode.
I know.
You missed it.
So.
Like Buffy has murdered more like legendary vampires than any of the vampires have murdered Slayers.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And she's also sorry, just before you delete that. I want to
mention waiting patiently.
She actually, just to throw it in, she survived encounters with Spike and Drusilla. Spike having killed 2 Slayers and Drusilla having killed one Slayer.
She beat Spike multiple times.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is she survived encounters with 2 vampires that are known as kill Slayers.
And did Angel have Slayer kills?
I don't know. Maybe if we consider Drusilla a fledgling Slayer and when she was a priest, vision she had.
If anyone has like a kill count of all of these legendary vampires and wants to crop it to where we are,
in the Angel show.
I'll take it.
Go.
So have you noticed by what you were talking about that means Giles is the proud dad at soccer practice who's bragging about his daughter to all of
But he doesn't get invited to the retreats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but how else would they know? So
but
clearly
I mean, the retreat
Giles is a part. Huh?
The retreat wasn't going on, was it?
It was going on. He wasn't invited.
I thought that was just a fake bait for.
No, the retreat was happening, which is why it was a convincing cover story.
Yeah, they were just broing out. He called and they're like, bro, what, Tom? Nah, he's dead, dude.
It was a woman Slayer.
Yes, you're right. It was a woman Slayer. My
Watcher.
bad. I forgot about yes, Watcher. Right.
I'll bring that up.
But so I enjoy
Which is cool,
that
though.
That's a subtle reveal that Giles is, in fact, somehow, some way in communication with all of the other Watchers on a regular or fairly regular basis.
I feel like they chat a lot.
I feel like he probably sends, knowing Giles, letters back detailing Buffy's almost like a weekly.
Well, he's called all of his buddies at like the various universities.
The weekly
and
Buffy newsletter. How many vampires she killed this week? What kind? And what if there's anybody fancy?
Sure, because you have to remember, they are literally, if you were to envision it in not such a likable version, like if it's Diablo, they're literally at the mouth of hell to Earth. Just killing demons and vampires.
Giles probably has weekly reports.
He's like, this is the frontline report for this week.
I also want to point out that
she wasn't feeling in the mood, so she only killed 2 vampires.
I also want to point out that Giles is literally going through all these ancient books, and he's able to cross out demons and stuff that he's encountered and destroyed and whatnot. He's like, oh, we know how to deal with that one. Cross it out.
Yes.
Or circle it. Check mark, highlight it. We've done that. So he's literally filling out like the Watcher's handbook, if for lack of better words, on how to raise a Slayer if he had to, and that's why he should be at that retreat right now, because he could tell all these Watchers how to raise a Slayer.
That's another thing is and she just like offhandedly mentioned it, but Faith said that he's like the youngest Watcher she's ever seen,
and most attractive,
and so it's like, how old are these Watchers typically, and why is Giles like the young buck that is getting assigned to a Slayer?
And I want to also question. I want to point out that Buffy is the only Slayer that has
I don't think we've had an
family
answer.
and life still. Like, I mean, she still has her family and whatnot. Mom, dad. Kendra's family gave her up, and Faith's family, mom was dead. So, these Slayers are severed from their ties pretty early into being a Slayer.
But
not
that's
like
just as a result of, you can assume.
But Buffy's able to hold it all. Because which is something to think about too, because she's able to maintain.
That's why there's a show about her.
Think about it this way. Okay, so Mikey pointed out a lot of good stuff here. Yeah. So why would Giles, the Greenhorn, the young buck, get assigned to Buffy, whereas more veteran people got Kendra or other maybe more suitable looking young women who might last longer? So my theory was always that they didn't put a lot of stock in Buffy, and they just thought she was going to die.
That makes sense.
So they were like, "Yeah, you grab her. It's all yours. You're right there, California."
My theory is,
what's my theory?
The first guy that came up to her when she was in school, that episode when we saw the flashback, that was her first Watcher. That was the guy who came up and said, "Buffy, you're a vampire Slayer. You're the chosen one." That was her first Watcher. We didn't watch the movie. He's probably her Watcher in the movie, because that's probably from the movie. And I'm pretty sure the fans have said, he is he is a Watcher, which makes sense, because like who else would come up to Buffy and tell her she's a Slayer besides a Watcher telling somebody they're the Slayer? Now, my theory comes to a head that there's probably Slayers almost in every single town or every single convergence area of Hellmouths that exists.
There's supposed to be one Slayer.
There's one Slayer.
No, I'm sorry. Watchers.
You mean like
Watchers.
Watchers.
Yeah, Watchers in almost every town and stuff like that, because it's an ancient society that's spread across, especially if they're like, it seems like it's an English society because they go to England during, the settling of the United States and whatnot. They spread across the colonies and spread out, so they're kind of widespread. And what happens is when a Hellmouth opens up, or there's an abnormal, fluctuation in supernatural things, the Watcher gets assigned from the regional to like a special area, because they can detect it, kind of, which is maybe the purpose of like people like the mayor and whatnot, is to detect if there's like, the mayor and the police are always covering stuff up, so maybe there's another organization going on that's job is to detect these things, because as we saw, there's also another organization whose job it is to collect children who have like paranormal abilities. Okay. So like there's this whole thing going on.
You need to remember the Watchers are literally what their title ensues.
Yeah,
they're only like data collector people.
Yeah, and they teach the Slayers.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, like, I feel like they're not ever banking on the Slayers succeeding.
Well, they kind
of, that's why like they're trying to pool their knowledge and information, so that way it's like
makes sense.
It's their only chance of
the Slayers
is having the knowledge.
Slayer feels like a bomb almost, in the sense that they go off and it's destructive to a lot of things around them, but it'll get the job done. So like, it'll kill the vampires. It might, they might be able to sacrifice the Slayer.
I feel like that's mostly Buffy, because Kendra seemed very restrained.
No, I mean in terms of like
very what?
Restrained?
No,
like Kendra didn't cause like collateral damage at all.
I mean more like collateral damage, but like in their life, like their family and whatnot.
Okay, and that makes
it's like a dynamite.
Okay.
They go off, and then when they go off, they take out their target, which means maybe Buffy she should have died because the prophecy said the Slayer would die when the Master came back. A Slayer would.
She did die.
I know, but what I'm saying is the prophecy maybe was that she would have sacrificed herself to kill the Master.
Sure.
And then the thing didn't take into account that the modern invention of CPR would be a thing, and they can resuscitate her.
Or maybe there's another possibility.
Or maybe the prophecy always was that Buffy was supposed to die and be brought back so that she can help the Slayers, the new Slayers, and there could be two Slayers.
No. What I was getting at is maybe
you're right, Joe.
Buffy's was never supposed to be a
Thanks,
Slayer.
Joe. You just wait.
Why is that not an option?
Why Buffy was not supposed to be a Slayer?
I don't know. I'm just saying, if she randomly got Giles, some random dude showed up and was like, "You're a vampire Slayer, Buffy." Like, what happens if it's like, "Oh, boom, she's the new Slayer." Bang! Lightning bolt. Dead. What happens?
The new Slayer's picked.
Yeah, but maybe the system's like, oh fuck, who's closest? Boom, Buffy. Well, you know what I mean? Like,
that's probably what it is. It's probably the closest female of a certain age.
But clearly she didn't know prior.
Maybe
she only
blood
found
type,
out after she was already the Slayer.
Exactly. So your abilities get activated, and well, no. So what it seems like is not your ability.
Because it was like heavily implied or said or whatever about Kendra that she's like been training for years.
It seems like they know who's.
Buffy was dead for like 6 months at that point.
So you're right. So it makes maybe they know who.
So all I'm saying is we have plenty to support that either they didn't know Buffy existed and somehow it was just like an accident and it happened, or she was never actually supposed to be the Slayer and somehow something happened where she was.
I don't think that's.
Or she's just the Slayer.
She was a Slayer. She became, she probably was next one selected. I don't know.
I'm just saying. I feel like you're going one way, and I'm just saying there's other possibilities. Anything's possible. I don't fucking remember, so I'm just guessing.
It's a good guess. Now, for this Buffy, I
did remember.
We also see Buffy has been let back in school.
100%.
We see Buffy's been let back in school a bit.
Dude, fuck that guy. I cannot wait until she fucking beats him up. But I feel like it's never gonna happen.
And it's interesting.
I feel like he's actually gonna what? I feel like he's actually gonna end up being super nice in the end somehow, and he was only doing what he had to do, or some redeeming thing.
Maybe.
Probably not. He's probably gonna just die to hyenas.
You mean like break all of her ties to her life so she can just be a dedicated Slayer? Crazy,
that's
dude.
Mikey's theory, right? Or was that your theory?
I don't know what my theory is.
My theory was, in order for her to be an effective Slayer, she would have to break a lot of the ties in her life, because as a result, they've left her. What makes her human is what makes her weak, obviously, which is a whole big discussion for another thing.
I need to go back.
Buffy's strength.
I need to go back and look at 2 scenes because I'm still convinced that the guy that walked up to Buffy in LA and was like, "Hey, you're a Slayer," is also the guy that talks to the principal.
It's not. Fans told us no.
Okay, thank you. When did they say that? I feel like you haven't told me this. It's been weeks.
1 or 2 episodes ago.
Weeks.
Also, the guy that talked.
Remember when they do they go to the one scene and the guy's like, "Hey, principal, like you go to figure it out and handle this," going crazy, and then he walks away. We
that
never
was like
see
a
him
government
again.
agency or something. So that
God, I need to learn how to remember faces.
I also really love Giles. You aptly pointing out that
it was just a ruse.
Yeah.
I like how that was a great.
It was really good.
It was greatly done. I mean, it was the most. It was obviously. He knew there was more to the story, and he wanted Buffy to admit it because part of her healing process is admitting it.
Yep.
So there was the whole like, "Are you sure the spell's not working fully? It's it's not working. Are you sure?" And then Willow finding out she's actually a good witch, actually became able to do spells. On top of being confident, makes it for confidence. Giles, he not wanting to help made it a little sketchy, and as a result, Willow with her intuition is able to find out that there was no.
Yeah, but unfortunately with her intuition, I feel like she kind of didn't seem to own it. Like, oh fuck, I made her literally murder Angel.
Yeah. But they finally.
So I felt like that was kind of weird because I feel like
it's not her fault.
I know, but like that's some traumatic shit, and it only happened because of her. She was only doing it with good intentions.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, if I was Willow, I'd be like, oh my fucking God.
I traumatized my friend.
I can't believe I did that to you. I'm so sorry. But we don't really get that.
But I don't think we're supposed to look that deeply into it because it's a conflict that doesn't have a good answer, because what's the answer to that? Like, Willow was trying to do what was best
while bedridden.
It was like a minute too late. Like, there's no satisfying closure there, which is why I think they didn't pursue the storyline
until we just saw Angel reappear, in which case it's like, oh wait, maybe she did do the right thing.
Interesting.
Now, we're gonna find out next time.
That's real.
The last thing to bring up is for me is Xander just is one of the every time I like to like Xander, like every time I enjoy his character, he does something that you could chalk up to, oh, he's just a teenage boy, but at this point he's a senior in high school and he's acting like, I mean, he said, he's had like, obviously he's dating like the hottest girl in school technically, and or like one of the most popular girls in school, if not and he's acting like
he's just a horny idiot,
and it's
that's what he's like.
Yeah,
and
but it's like he feels kind of overdone.
Yeah, it feels like
sure.
It feels like over exaggerated in the sense because I mean, Willow was the shy, innocent girl, and they've gone away with that. They've shed that because obviously Oz has taken her out of her comfort by being her boyfriend and introducing her to new scenarios, and also it was good that it wasn't Xander that was the one that she dated, because that would be a comfort thing for her, and Oz is a new person for her to meet and get used to.
Sure.
So, that's a whole thing too, especially because he's the opposite of her, with especially taking educational stuff. He's more of a free spirit, whereas she is, more like structured.
But they're both super smart.
Xander, I feel like while he has his great moments where he saves the people and does stuff, it's just always then thrown back to crude, like, boobs, pretty girl, sex joke.
It's just his
it
thing.
discredits his character.
I wish it was slightly less his thing, because I feel like it kind of retracts.
It's just
from
a little
what is supposed
too
to be
much.
his character growth.
Yeah.
Because he's like on par with season 1.
Like, you want to like him, but he's still the same character.
He's better than season 1.
I mean, sure, a little.
Yeah.
A little
But
bit,
I mean, you
sure.
want to like him too, especially because like he does have great moments where he is the regular guy who saves the day.
He's
in some
not that
situation.
guy when he
does that, because when there's other things going on and they're not just using him as comic relief, like they're using him as like the regular guy doing things, or like, for example, helping the one gentleman come out as a homosexual. That was great for him, because
total happenstance.
But he still helped. He was a great plot device there. But then feels like when they don't know what to do with Xander for an episode, or if there's a pretty girl, they have to double back to the old classic, corny teenager trope that Xander kind of exudes, which subtracts from his character. If they did it less often, sure, but like this is another scenario where he's kind of just he could have been
detracted from his character.
He could have been greater.
I will say though, I absolutely love Cordelia's reactions to him being the horny idiot.
She's like, "You're not gonna fucking do shit."
She saves it.
Like,
she saves it.
Yeah.
She gets to react to doing what we think and act. So obviously there's some satire or commentary coming from that, but it's great.
Plus, I think if you're confident like Cordelia, and some chick walks in and she starts talking about how she wrestled an alligator naked or whatever the story was, it's like, it's trashy, but I like it. That's a pretty badass story. I feel like Game respects Game, and she didn't see her as a threat.
Well,
so she's like, how about you stop asking?
I don't think she saw her as a threat, because when they were in the school, she literally was like looking over Xander's shoulder, was like, who thinks that's her real hair color? And then just walked away.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's because she knows Xander does have her in the end, and that he just may obviously stare. He looks, but he doesn't touch. But at the same time, I feel like she handles those situations pretty well, because she always calls him out on it too, and therefore at least brought to attention by the writers and the cast and whatnot in the situation. But like I said, it could be so much more, and makes me feel like she deserves better sometimes when he does that with her sitting on him.
Yeah, no, it's a little wild.
Yeah. Besides that,
I feel like you're just going and going today.
The new villain is interesting because he's obviously.
We don't even know if he's a villain yet, Mikey.
Well, I'm gonna call him the new villain for at least the next couple episodes. He's
bro, he's trying to get on a computer with his laptop and go
CEO
somewhere.
vampire.
Literally.
It seems like he's
like, why are we going
investing in-
places? We can just order food.
He's like, dude, we could just invest in Google tomorrow, bro. Okay, just hear me out, bro. I swear, we can.
With all the money we're gonna make off this, we never have to go anywhere. We can live in a cave.
He's like,
with the
doesn't that
best.
sound fucking sweet?
It
And
also-
he's like, no, I want to rip the spine out of this flame. He's like,
it seems
all right,
like
bro, you have a great time.
yeah, I know that's. He grabbed the only female vampire. Was like, yo, let's bounce.
I mean, it's interesting though because he did make some comments that gave us some hints of his age. For example, him not being used to people being kind to him and calling him sir that are like white. So it obviously makes you think that he's a vampire within the last 150 to 200 years.
It could be a
Did he say that? Because I thought he was saying that Sunnydale was white as fuck.
That's what he was saying.
No, but then he said,
but he also kind of said it like he. I understand what Mikey's saying. That he did go through America.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's
50
not like
years
a new
ago.
vampire. So he's basically saying, this and that, because it's basically the way I'm trying to say is it makes it sound like he's an older vampire. And he's, they may have been in hiding for a while.
He's just loving the new age.
Because they haven't
He
done
was.
that.
He
was loving
wanted
the new
to
age.
embrace the new
And,
age.
maybe he was taking advantage of the, for example, the fact that you can mail order
Dude,
people.
he was the first vampire we've heard who was excited about computers, let alone he's like, there's fucking fiber optics here, dude. What are you doing?
And actually, it was
Willow
funny.
as a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, could you imagine if Willow was a vampire?
No, she's a witch.
I know, but like, if any of the crew become a vampire, in any way.
They already did it with Angel. It doesn't make sense to do it again.
I know, but like just saying, if one of them becomes a vampire, that would be probably a crazy fucking twist in the sense that
they're a vampire.
Yeah, they lost their soul. They're not them anymore.
But they have this. They have the spell to take the soul back, kind of.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you. Got off deep end before we get to that conversation. Thank you for joining us. 732 Review Crew. I'm Mikey.
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
And if you enjoy our content, make sure you check out our Patreon, which features full-length reactions twice a week to this and other shows, movies, and things. So if we haven't decided on things yet, that's right. Besides that, though, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Toodaloo.